Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7 Now today. Got some more balance adjustments for you guys. Except this time around, it's not really a new set of balance adjustments, it's more of a small adjustment to the previous one. As you can see in the red text over here, Smallgate would like to inform you of a change regarding a 5-star Moonlight hero, Fallen Cecilia, in the upcoming February 13th balance adjustment. So, what is this change? Well, this change is that they're canceling the Fallen Cecilia buffs altogether. And by checking out their official balance adjustment preview, it has been edited, and you can see that in their list over here of all the things that are going to be updated, Fallen Cecilia is crossed out. So if you need a reminder of what Fallen Cecilia's buff was going to be, we can take a look right here, and as you can see, all of her changes are crossed out. She was essentially, in summary, going to get some extra damage dealt on her S1 and her S3, and then she would also, on her S3, dispel all buffs from the opponent, before granting skill nullifier to everybody, and that S3 cannot trigger a counterattack. Right? She would get her barrier strength increased for her passive, right? And that's including the barrier that you get at the start of the battle, and also the barrier that you would get every single turn for the lowest HP ally. Her passive would also include a base max health increase by 10%, which is pretty strong. But yeah, overall, this does seem a little lackluster, right? There's a soul burn that was changed actually to ignore effect resistance on her S1 to provoke, which is really good. But overall, it seems kind of lackluster until people saw that she was going to be a speed imprint. Speed imprint is very rare to get. The last one that we got that was added to the game, I believe, was Veronica. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think there might have been one. Oh no, it was a Westwind Shuri, right? Executioner Shuri. Maybe that was him. But yeah, there's speed imprints here. But speed imprints for 5 stars, really rare. I think the only one is Green Vildred, who came with the release of the game like 6 years ago. So yeah, Fallen Cecilia would have been the second 5-star imprint for speed, and with her kit here, she would have actually been pretty decent and versatile for both fast teams like cleave and aggro, but also for slower teams, right? Standard type of teams, where most of the characters are kind of like the 200s to 240 speed range. The speed imprint would help those players as well, just because slower players tend to also have like at least one opener or one support unit that tends to be on the faster side. Think about something like azallea, maybe an Pera, stuff like that can help buff the team and bolster your tempo. Those types of units would get a benefit from that speed imprint too, right? So that was essentially the overview of her balance adjustment and what it would have been, but now they're canceling it. And let's read what Smallgate has to say about that. So after the balance adjustment preview was released on January 31st, we received a number of comments and feedbacks from our heirs regarding balance adjustments, including Fallen Cecilia's. After carefully reviewing each and every one of them, we've decided to exclude Fallen Cecilia from the February 13th balance adjustments. We are currently working on a new adjustment plan for Fallen Cecilia, which will be introduced at a later date. Moving forward, we will carefully monitor all heroes and ensure adjustments are more tailored to each hero's unique strengths and needs. So, in general here, what they're saying is that they've been reading a lot of the feedback that they've been getting from the Stove comments. Stove comments not only, here, but, in other languages as well. Like, they're listening to the Koreans, the Europeans, the Japanese players, and all that across their Stove platforms. But the main thing that I want to say here about this is that if you have, not been commenting on these balance adjustments, I understand why. I would not want to comment on Stove either, because it is an absolute cesspool. If you go to any random post on Stove, right, with anything other than like giving out free things, like for the anniversaries and stuff like that, people were, like, oh yeah, cool, free summon event, thanks Smallgate. But on anything other than that, it's just incredibly negative. And it makes sense, because negativity kind of just runs the internet, kind of runs media as we know it, right? Both social media and like traditional news media. When you go to turn on the news, all you really see is like apocalyptic news. You don't really see like, oh, local man rescues kitten now stuck in tree. Like, that's something that you might find in like a local local page or something that you might follow, or like a local newspaper source or something like that. But it's not something that would make big news. It's really always the negative stuff that garners the most feedback, the most attention, the most people commenting, the most engagement, and engagement drives the internet. So when we look at the stove comments, it's always going to be a very vocal minority, right, that's expressing their views. And we saw that this is not the first time that this has happened, by the way. Pirate Captain Flan, which happened not too long ago, just a couple of balance adjustments ago, she got completely shafted from her original design. She would have been an incredible, nice control unit in the meta, right? But now she's just slightly better than she was before, and honestly, nobody really uses her. If all the other bridge units for Zio are banned, then people use her as a last resort effort to pair with Zio. But yeah, aside from that, really she still sees no use. It's a completely useless balance adjustment. So in the case with Fallen Cecilias though, they're outright just canceling it. You're not going to be able to play with Fallen Cecilia, and I kind of have a problem with that, just because we wait so long to get these balance adjustments, right? And we had a pretty decent list of units getting adjusted here, although a lot of these were to kind of bolster ML Pera's position in the meta, but even then, there was synergy between a lot of these units and some of the ones that currently exist. So, Fallen Cecilia being excluded completely, Smilegate not even giving the players a chance to play with the buffs, is just disheartening to see. Same thing that happened with the Pirate Captain Flan. They didn't give us a chance, right? They didn't give us a chance if Pirate Captain Flan was gonna be way too good, or in the comments of Stove, apparently way too bad. She was not gonna be good. She's gonna lose her identity as a bomb unit. You know, you can go first turn and just bomb 2 units and then win based on that. There's what a lot of the comments were saying. It's just not the case, right? A Fallen Cecilia here, at least let the players play with her, and then if she wasn't good enough, like the Stove comments were saying, if she really was not competitive in RTA in the top echelons of the meta, then put her in the next balance adjustment. This is the first balance adjustment Fallen Cecilia would have ever had, and to roll it back and say, you know what, never mind, we are going to work on it, which I do appreciate. I appreciate that they are going to go back and they promise that to re-release her balance adjustment in the future, hopefully a much better one as well. But it just sucks that they're taking that away from people. It's okay to include Fallen Cecilia in the next balance adjustment again and say, hey guys, we kind of done goofed, we messed up a little bit, we're going to buff her a little bit more, right? That's fine. Melissa's gotten multiple rounds of adjustments, right? Fire Tenebria, multiple rounds, right? Fire Ravi, Apocalypse Ravi, multiple rounds of balance adjustments to get them to keep up with the meta. And I don't see a problem with doing that, honestly. You know, just let the players have a chance to test it out. It seems like Smilegate doesn't really test out all their units all that much, is kind of why they're doing these kind of last minute adjustments and shifts and things for their balance adjustments. If they had a dedicated team to testing this, then I don't think they would put as much weight on the vocal minority that we see on the Stove comments and the Stove pages, right? Now, regarding that, I do recommend that you guys comment on Stove's pages now, because apparently that's really all Smilegate is going to read. So over here we see even people like Tristan Wolf, another great content creator for the game, is commented, and I agree with all their points here. You guys can go ahead and visit the page and read them for yourselves, but yeah, like look at what's happening here. The top comments are all pretty much people just coming out and saying, wait, what are you doing? This is the second time you cancel fine buffs, right? People are upset that you're canceling the buffs now. Even Tristan Wolf just saying, why would you have such a short announcement period and then cancel the buff 24 hours beforehand, right? So yeah, waiting 2 more months for the next balance patch. So people do want to use the balance adjustment. It's just that the comments are going to give Smilegate a skewed opinion on what the players really want. Again, it's the vocal minority that are always commenting, and the general people really stay silent on things, right? You might be playing the game, you might be enjoying it, right? You might be having your voice with the game by summoning on Fire Cecilia's banner, by, you know, getting more imprints for your Fallen Cecilia, buying the Galaxy, buying Fallen Cecilia from the Galaxy coins and all that stuff. But without the comments, it's not going to be heard from Smilegate. So I do encourage you guys, even though I do understand it's an absolute cesspool here in Stove, please comment and let them know what you want, what you like as well from certain things. There are people like here, their comment is completely irrelevant to my point here, but look at what they're doing. They're just bullet pointing things. You can literally just make a bullet point and go, I like Fallen Cecilia's speed imprint, but I feel like her passive and her other skills could use a little bit more of an improvement. I feel like they're a little lackluster. Or like, hey, Remnant Violet, he got a very basic adjustment, which will be kind of nice with Alpera. Just kind of wish that he had more evasion for survivability. If Fire Flan has 100% evasion, why can't Remnant Violet when that's his whole shtick, right? So something like that could very well be echoed here in the comments, and then maybe we'll see additional changes that move forward. It is good to provide Smilegate feedback. It's good to provide them with your opinions. I just also hope that they take the comments, the opinions and stuff that are presented to them here in the comments, again, with a grain of salt, because it's usually going to be filled with a vocal minority. It's usually going to be filled with a lot of negativity, because, and it's not just like me pointing fingers at other people and stuff, it's just how the internet works, right? It really is just how the internet works, and how human nature works. We gravitate towards, and we put more emphasis on negative news and negative feedback. So yeah, anyway, that is the whole situation. I don't like this. I really wish that moving forward they would just, if they're gonna listen to feedback and stuff, like Tristan Wolf said, extend the feedback duration, make it 4 weeks, announce it 2 weeks earlier, and now you have a 4-week wait, a 1-month wait, where we can get feedback for the first 2 weeks, and then we lock in for the next 2 weeks and say, okay, this is what we're gonna be doing, right? There's no other changes, right? Or if there are gonna be changes, hey, we're gonna make changes based on the first 2 weeks of feedback, and then the last 2 weeks here, this is what you guys are getting, right? This is our adjustment. This gives us some time to tweak things around to make things perfect for the release, right? That would be ideal. Even though it seems like a bit of a longer wait, it wouldn't be. They would just honestly be giving out the balance adjustment preview 2 weeks earlier than they normally would, giving us a 4-week window. I kind of like that suggestion from Tristan Wolf. But moving on here, those of you guys who might have, spoken out with your voice in terms of summoning on a banner or preparing for the Fallen Cecilia, what happens to you guys? Well, for those of you who participated in the 5-star Covenant Hero Cecilia drop rate increase summon, which began on February 6th, you will get a full refund of the Covenant bookmarks that were used. And it says more details will be provided in a separate notice, which, as of recording this right now, has not been released yet. But this is great because you get to keep everything that you summoned. Essentially, this is saying, hey guys, we screwed up here, and we know that some of you guys made a decision to summon on this banner, anticipating certain changes. So you'll get to keep everything you summoned, all the artifacts, all the heroes, even the Fire Cecilias. They won't take those back. They'll just give you your bookmarks back, which is kind of nice. Right, so kind of a silver lining, a win for those of you guys who were summoning for imprints. The next thing though here says, additionally, if you purchased a 5-star Moonlight Hero Fallen Cecilia from the Galaxy Coin shop using Galaxy Coins between January 31st and February 1st, after the balance adjustment preview was released, and you like a refund for the Galaxy Coins used to purchase Fallen Cecilia, you need to submit a one-to-one inquiry through their customer service portal, okay, by February 21st, so you have about a 1-week window to do this, 1 week plus a couple days of change, right? So please make sure that if you want that Fallen Cecilia re-exchange back for Galaxy Coins, that you do this. This is not an automatic process. You have to contact customer services, and what they'll do is they'll go into the logs, they'll verify that you actually did reimburse, you did exchange the Galaxy Coins for Fallen Cecilia, and then they'll reimburse you those coins. They'll take the Fallen Cecilia out of your account, and then they'll put the Galaxy Coins back. Hopefully in that process they do refund you any EXP, any awakening like runes and stuff like that you used on the characters if you did use them. Fallen Cecilia is currently not available in the Galaxy Coin shop. This was the last couple of days of the previous Galaxy Coin rotation where she was, and a lot of people picked her up because they thought, hey, whoa, we're gonna get a speed imprint Fallen Cecilia, she's gonna be really nice, and then people summon for imprints, right? So at least you guys will get compensated well, not really fully compensated. If you summoned on Fire Cecilia's banner, you'll be compensated. If you purchase the Galaxy Coins for the Fallen Cecilia, you'll just get a reimbursement, okay? So yeah, hopefully again, in summary, Smilegate should listen to feedback, and we should be giving feedback on the Stove platform. They don't listen to people from anywhere else. They don't listen to us on our YouTube channels. They don't listen to the Twitch chats, and they don't read the Twitch chats. The Twitch streamers, their voices are sometimes heard if they're more official partners. They're not really listening to Reddit comments. They're not listening to Discord messages and stuff like that. And we just got 2 new community managers for the official Epic 7 Discord server. So yeah, there's clearly still going to be an establishment of communication between the players, the community managers, and the official team at Smilegate that makes the changes here. So do keep that in mind. Please, please, please comment on Stove in the future. I understand it's terrible, but it is, if you want to make the game better, it's what we have to do. I'm probably going to be doing that moving forward as well, at least a quick bullet pointed list. And you guys are free to also, if you see a comment that you really agree with, copy it, paste it, adjust it a little bit, right? So that it kind of has the same message that you would like, but just in your own words. Okay, it's like copying someone's homework, but change it a little bit so the teacher won't notice, right? Get that a lot when I'm teaching. Anyway, with that being said though, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.